Now, in order to make a pivot table, the data has to be laid out in a certain way. Notice how the field names are up top. That's very important. And then notice how we have rows and rows of data. And if I scroll down, there's no blank rows until the very bottom. Now, this could be hundreds or thousands of rows. You just want that to be continuous with no blank rows until the very bottom and no blank columns until the right-hand side. I'm sure we all have data like that. And then it's fairly important that the field names are up top as well. All right. So a pivot table can take this data and generate all kinds of different reports from this data. It's a really powerful reporting tool. These happen to be airline transactions, so each row is a different flight. Okay, let's go ahead and start making our pivot table. We're going to click on one cell that's not blank. By the way, sometimes during this session, I'll make my mouse do that so that you can see where my mouse is. So I'll pick on one cell that's not blank within the data. I'll pick on the Insert menu up top, Insert. And we'll come over here and pick on the word Pivot Table on the left side of the Insert menu. Good. Then we're going to get this window. Now, you hardly ever have to change anything on this window. Usually it has the proper data range, and this one does. It's going to go down to the next blank row and the next blank column. Now, if you wanted to have a different data range, you can do that, but usually that is the correct range. Now, the only time you would have to say use an external data source is if your data is not in Excel. If your data is in Access or SQL Server or something like that, you would say use an external data source, but usually your data is in Excel, so you would use the top choice up there. Typically, we'll put the pivot table on a new worksheet. Sometimes I'll put the pivot table on an existing worksheet, but usually I'll put the pivot table on a new worksheet. So you hardly ever have to change anything on this screen. This is not the screen that people get confused on with pivot tables. I'm going to click on OK. Now this is the screen where people get confused on with pivot tables. So let's see what's going on. We have a lot going on. In this case, notice how we're on a different sheet. So if I go to sheet 1, that's where our data is. But it made a new sheet for us because I asked for a new sheet. Now we're on sheet 8 or the next available sheet. Notice over here we have our field names. That's why I kept on saying that the field names are really important. Obviously, the pivot table is going to use this. What you're really going to do is you're going to move these fields to these different sections, and that's how we can get our pivot table started. You're going to find that the pivot table is a great way to get subtotals out of your data. Let's say, for example, we wanted to get subtotals out of the office field. Well, that's going to give you a big clue. I'm going to move the office field down here into the rows section. Now, when I learned pivot tables a long time ago, you had to drag your fields, and that's the way I still do it. I know there's other ways, but I still drag my fields. So if I pick up the word office, I'm going to drag it down here into the rows like that. Now, notice what happened over here on the left-hand side. Each row became a different office. So the pivot table is over here on the left-hand side. We're just building a pivot table over here on the right. But each row became a different office because I moved the office field into the rows section, as you can see. Now, to get some subtotals out of your, from the office field, we'll move something into the value section. Usually, you use some kind of number field for the value section. You don't have to use a number field. You can use any kind of field. However, when you use a number field, you'll get more calculations available, and I'll show you what that means pretty soon. So I'll pick up the total field and drag it over here into the values. And notice what happened. Now, in those two steps, we have a subtotal for each different office. So we're already starting to get some great results from the pivot table, and we're just getting started. So we moved the office field into the rows section. We moved the total field into the value section. Now you can see I have a subtotal for each office. These numbers on the left-hand side, those are subtotals. Let me show you something that's called a drill down. I'm going to double-click on one of these numbers on the left-hand side. Double-click. And notice how it brings us to a different sheet, which shows us all the detailed transactions for that number. That's called a drill down. I think that's a great feature, and it's built right in. So notice how it made a different sheet for us. Now we're on sheet 9. Let's try that again. I'm going to pick on sheet 8. I'm going to double-click on one of these numbers. Double-click. And notice how that's going to show us all the detailed transactions for that number. That's called a drill down. I think that's a great feature, and it's built right in, you know. Now, notice how I'm on sheet 10. This time we'll go back to sheet 8. Good. So now we're back onto the pivot table. Now, notice over here, it says sum of total. So these are all sums or subtotals. Let me show you how you can get different calculations. I'm going to come over here on the right side and pick on the pull down where it says sum of total in the value section. I'm going to click that. We'll pick on value field settings. Good. Now we're back to this window. So notice now I can do sum, count, average, minimum, maximum, product, standard deviation, and variance. And pretty soon I'll show you where there's more beyond that. In this case, I'll pick in the word count. And then when I click on OK, watch the numbers. Now they just went from sums to counts, okay? So watch what we did again. That's one that you're going to use all the time so you can get a different report. I'm going to come over here and pick on the pull down where it says count of total. And I'll go back to where it says value field settings. And now we're back to here. I'll pick on sum this time. Now, another thing you can change in this window is the custom name. So I'm going to type in the word sum there, and then that'll be the new column heading over here on the pivot table. So when you change the custom name, that'll be the new column heading of the pivot table for that column. Another thing that you can do in that window is you can change the number format. So if I pick on number format, then you have your classic number formatting screen. So for example, I'll pick on currency with 0 decimal places. So I'm going to click on OK. The way I got to that was I picked on the number format right from the value field settings screen. But the main purpose of this window is to change the type of calculation. This time I picked on sum. I'm going to click on OK. Now you can see how the numbers are back to sums, and you can see they're in currency format with 0 decimal places. Let's try that again. Now, what if you want to see the sum and the count at the same time? Well, that's a pretty normal request. What we'll do is we'll move more than one field into the value section. So I could use a different field here. I could use tickets or totals or any of the others. But in this case, I'm going to use the word total. So I'll pick on total and drag it back into the value section a second time, like that. Now we have 2 sums. Well, I don't need 2 sums. That would be redundant. Plus, it'd be repetitious, you know? So let's go ahead and change that. Watch what we're going to do. You go to that second sum in the value section, right there, and you pick on the pull down, and you go back to where it says value field settings. Good. And now I'll make this one a count or any of the different calculations. Now we have a sum and a count for each office, for each airline. So you can really start to get some great results in the pivot table, as you can see. Now, you could have as many fields in the value section as you wanted to, and each one would have their own value field settings. Now, for those of you who have made pivot tables before, you probably know about sum, count, and average, like I just showed you. Let me show you where there's even more calculations beyond that. Maybe you don't know about these. I'm going to click on the pull down where it says count, and we'll go back to where it says value field settings again. And now we're back to this window. So I'm going to pick on the word sum. Now watch my mouse. I'm going to go and click on the second tab of the value field settings screen. See the second tab? I'll click there. Now you're going to come over here and you click on the pull down, and then you get your own. You get more calculations available. So we have things like percent of grand total, percent of column total, and so on. Click on percent of column total. So on the first tab of the value field settings screen, you get things like sum, count, and average, and so on. However, if you pick on the second tab of the value field settings screen right there, then you pick on the pull down, then you'll be able to do percent of grand total, percent of column total, and so on. Let's go with percent of column total. I'll pick on OK. And notice how we have percents built right into our pivot table, as you can see. Now remember, you can have as many calculations as you wanted to. You would just move more than one field into the value section, and each one could have their own value field setting. Let's do another example like that. I'll click on the pull down where it says sum of total, the second one. I'll click on value field settings, and now I'm back to here. Now I'm going to come over here, I'll say show values as, and we'll click on the pull down, and I'm going to scroll down, and this time I'll find rank. So there's a rank built right in, and for the custom name, I'll type in rank right there. That'll be the column heading. I'm going to click on OK. Notice now we have a rank column, and we can see how the different numbers are ranked accordingly. All right, so you have some really great choices in the value field settings screen. Actually, I'm going to remove the rank. So I'll pick up the word rank from the value section and drag it back into the fields over here. And now we're just back to the original sum, as you can see. So it's very easy to move your fields back and forth. I mean, literally, you're just going to drag your fields back and forth to the different sections or to and from the fields up there. I want to show you how to add your own calculation into your pivot table. I showed you how we picked in the pull down where it says sum and with the value field settings, okay? And those are the ones that were built right in. But what if you want to have your own calculations? Now, first of all, I'm going to move the, instead of the total field here, I'll pick the sum up and move it back to the fields. This time I'll base it on the tickets. So I'll pick up the tickets field and drag that into the values. So you can make a pivot table out of any of your fields, right? Now, I'd like to show the baggage fees. Actually, let's move the airline into the rows, and I'll pick up the office and move that to the filters. Good. So now I have it broken down by airline. Notice how you can just move your fields around and get different results. Well, I want to show the baggage fees, so I want to show you how to make my own calculation, and we'll start wrapping up. I'll pick on the Analyze menu up top, and you come over here, you say Fields, Items, and Sets, right there. Fields, Items, and Sets, and we'll pick on Calculate a Field. So you want to give it a name. I'll call it Baggage Fees. Now, you always want to get rid of the 0 on this window. So get rid of the 0, but keep the equal sign. Always keep the equal sign. Now look, I'm going to double click on the word tickets from the fields. Double click. That shows up in the formula. And then your math is the same as that. So let's say it's $25 per ticket for the baggage fees. So think of that as any other Excel formula, except you use the field name instead of the cell reference. Otherwise, the math can be the same. I'm going to pick on OK. Notice now I have a new column that's called baggage fees. Watch how I got into that again. I'll pick on Analyze, Fields, Items, and Sets, and you pick on Calculated Field. Then you would add a field name there. You'll get rid of the 0, and then you would make your field based on the actual field names. Otherwise, the math is the same.